so far. Now, Nikolai Krukov of Russia, the 1999 all-around champion of the world.
Scott, it's intimidating knowing that you need a 9-8 to beat the first competitor. Krukov is a very polished gymnast. Not going to see very many form breaks. Take a look at this tremendous combination right here. Single pommel work. And he goes from one pommel to the next. Very nice, and the audience appreciates it as well. Slight form break right there in the scissors. Traveling with his circles. Boy, another strong routine.
Gonna see some great gymnastics here. Krukov won the bronze medal in the pommel in Tianjin, China 2 years ago.
Here's where he went from one pommel to the other. You can see how crucial the balance is. He had a 10-0 start value, just a couple slight form breaks during his scissors, which is not very common for Krukov.
Hard to equal a 9.775 by King Zhao. Can't do it. 9.65 the score for Krukov. Yeah, he's saying, I just couldn't quite get all that. Maybe this guy can. 26-year-old Marius Urzica of Romania, gold medalist at the pommel horse in Sydney. Jocking up the hands.
He's definitely earned his spot at the top. He had several disappointing second-place finishes before winning in Sydney. Now he has the name and the reputation. Very smooth, very quick swing. This is where he shines, in his flares. Long legs really enhance the visual aspect of it.
Silver at the Olympic Games in Atlanta. Silver at the World Championships.
He has it all, the name, the difficulty, the form, and that extra little finesse.
Wow, and he stayed on the horse a long time.
He had really good composition in this routine, showing nice single pommel work here, circling elements, and those beautiful flares. Look at the intricate hand placements, not a problem for him.
9-8 from Urzica, and he now takes the lead. Italian gymnast Alberto Busnari.
Two big scores to beat. It'll be tough, and he knows it, but you know, sometimes that takes the pressure off the athlete. He knows he just has to do the best job he can do. Russians. There's the single pommel work.
Comes in as the dark horse. He finished 35th all around at the Olympic Games.
Couple knee bends there. Flares, pirouetting into his dismount. Oh, big mistake right there at the end on a simple landing. It's pretty amazing what these guys are doing on this event now. Beautiful combination work. But you have to be almost perfect in an event final to even win a medal. He had a mental error right here at the end, leaving his chest down on that landing, giving away a 10th.
9.562, which puts him in 4th position. There were 3 huge scores ahead of him. Alexander Baresh of Ukraine. He was the European champion in the year 2000, that one in Bremen, Germany.
He's looking good so far. Very tight body positions. Alexander is an experienced gymnast, and this routine is oozing with confidence. Very aggressive. Nice scissor work. Finishing up strong, another great routine.
The 24-year-old was fourth in the pommel horse at the last World Championships. Just missed a medal.
Take a look at the Russians right here. Almost in a planche position, circling at the end of the horse.
Wow, 9.662. That's his coach, Igor Korobchinsky, a former Olympian. And so the veteran Marius Urzika wins a gold, a stellar 9.8. 7 years separate his 2 world titles. 16-year-old Qin Zhao of China second. Ukraine's Alexander Beresh the bronze. Marius Urzika, a true specialist. He last won World Championship gold in Australia in 1994. He's back on top again. The street market in Ghent. When we return, the search for a 3rd gold medal by Russian Svetlana Borkina.
Don't let anyone mess with your McDonald's hockey cards. Featuring 4 awesome subsets and the game's greatest stars. Get a 3-pack for just 89 cents with any size fry or hash brown.
There's a little McDonald's in everyone.
Do you believe a motorcycle can fly? Can a family station wagon cross 6 countries in 2 days? Can a sport ute deliver fun and take your family anywhere in comfort? Powered by Suzuki Engineering, we believe they can. You can count on every Suzuki to be built better than it needs to be. And that quality and reliability is why Suzuki is the #1 selling car in Japan.
It's Disney Guess Words, the game with one-word clues.
George, this is exciting.
It's the Burtons versus the defending champion, Campbell's. To see who can guess the Disney guess word. The guess word is Goofy.
Dog?
Lady trap now!
Time's up. Now the Burtons give their one-word clue.
Gosh!
Goofy! Yeah, the Burtons win. Play the Disney Guess Words game in your home. And also look for the Disney Trivia 2 game. It's the game with separate questions for grown-ups and kids.
The Roman aqueducts have stood here since 145 BC, able to endure centuries because of an engineering marvel, the arch. A curved structure so incredibly strong that even when great pressure is applied to it, it holds its shape. The design with such strength and integrity that to this day, modern man has yet to improve upon it.
When muscle aches and pains get you down, you can visit any one of a number of specialists. Or you can just buy one. Rub A535, Canada's favorite family of muscle rubs. Specialists in muscle pain relief.
Tuesday on Information Night. What's this man still doing in Canada? CBC News Disclosure tracks an American who's wanted back home for bilking investors out of millions of dollars, all from the comfort of his Quebec home. CBC News Disclosure, Tuesday night at 9.
Gearing up for Olympic action. CBC Sports Saturday. At 1 Eastern, the Canadian curling trials get underway. Watch for Colleen Jones and Kelly Law on the women's rinks. Randy Furby and Russ Howard lead the men's teams. Who will headline our Olympic contenders? At 5 Eastern, it's fast. Long track speed skating World Cup action from Calgary. Will Annie Freisinger hold on to her record-breaking lead? Can Cindy Clausen close the gap? We've got it all covered next week at noon Eastern on CBC Sports Saturday.
Romania is broadcasting from Ghent and getting some analysis from 1976 Olympic champion Nadia Comaneci, still the icon of this sport. The uneven bars, Lori, and talk about swinging on a star.
And a lot has changed on this event since the days of Nadia. Big changes this year are the required element that starts and finishes on the low bar, and the element close to the bar like a free hip, stalder, or endo. These changes bring the low bar back into existence.
Here is Renske Endal of the Netherlands, and she'll get big support. A lot of Dutch fans in the arena.
And boy, the Netherlands have been outstanding. Once again, this brings us back to the parity of the sport. In recent history, the Netherlands haven't had the talent or the depth to be competing in a finals, and now they're at the top. Beautiful stalder work in combination. There's a release move, a Jaeger. Her coach steps in just in case she misses.
It's exciting in here for the team final. The Dutch narrowly missed a medal, but the crowd was roaring throughout.
Very pretty form throughout this entire routine. Nice difficulty and a nailed landing. You can't ask for much more.
Yep, there are the Dutch fans all decked out in orange.
Beautiful endo work right there. She has a half pirouette into a stalder. Those are those in-bar elements that are close to the bar, a requirement. And another requirement, that's a release move. It's called a Jaeger.
She's 18 years old. Rimska Endo, the first up on the bars, 9.425, which is a great way to get it going. Sarah Moro, a 17-year-old from Spain. She was born in Mexico. Jesus Carballo Garcia, her coach, takes away the beat board.
She has some wonderful twisting combinations here, gaining valuable bonus. She needs 1.2 in bonus. Every time she links one difficult element to the next, oh, hitting her foot on the Jaeger, couple tenth deduction right there. But every time she links one difficult element to the next, she gains valuable bonus. The dismount, half in, half out. A little close to the bar. She stalled her rotation. We saw some form deductions in the hit heel. But other than that, the form was beautiful, hitting her pirouettes right on top of the bar. And take a look at her toe point, and her legs are glued together.
Eight, 8-5. So the breaks make Sarah Moro lose some ground here. 16-year-old gymnast Katie Heenan of the United States.
A little off to the side on that pirouette. Nice fight. These athletes train many hours a day. Beautiful Jaeger. And in that time, they do tremendous amount of numbers of these routines. It's important to learn to save some of the elements. If you're a little crooked on a pirouette, pull it back on top with minimum of deduction. Nice job so far. The dismount, double front, a tiny step.
Katie delivered an even 9 for the Americans in the team competition as they won the bronze medal.
Best Jaeger I've seen in the competition so far. Way above the bar, plenty of height to rotate her feet past the bar before catching. Just a very tiny glitch at the beginning, but she came back so strong throughout this routine. Nice tight body in her shoot over.
And betters her score. 9.212 puts Katie Heenan in second position. This is Tatiana Zaranova of Belarus, 21 years old.
Again, we're going to see a lot of pirouette work here. Full pirouette on top of the bar. So 1.5. There's that Jaeger salto again. In the last couple of years, we've seen the routines move more towards the pirouette work, but now with the new code of points, the judges are encouraging them to do big release moves. They want to see 1 or 2, possibly 3 major release moves.
Coach Nikolai Liskovic steps in and then steps away once the release is done.
That was her second release move, a Ginger. Looking good so far. There's a dismount. Oh! Drops to one knee. 3/10 deduction right there. Big disappointment at the end because that was a solid routine. There's the full pirouette. Perfectly in handstand on top. She'll head down to the low bar. That is a requirement to have a connection from the high to the low, and then also from the low to the high.
Zaranova was 5th in Sydney at the Olympics. 8.825 will leave her out of the medals here. Svetlana Horkina of Russia. Listen to this. Gold in Sydney, gold in Atlanta, gold at the 99 Worlds in Tianjin, gold in 97 at Lausanne, gold in Sabai in Japan in 1995. She owns this event.
She is beautiful on this event. Every element linked to the next. That's how bars should be performed. She has skills named after her on every event, including several on the bars. There's one right there. Just so fluid. Pops that dismount way up and nails it once again.
Svetlana Horkina delivers again.
She makes this routine look so easy, and it is by far not. The difficulty level is so high. It's just like another routine in the gym. I love the dismount. Watch how she pops this way up. She'll tap her toes extremely high, way above the bar, finishing her second rotation and dropping into the landing.
It's enough. That's her coach, Boris Pilkin, in there with her 9-4-3-7. Svetlana Horkina wins gold on the bars at a fourth Worlds dating back to 1995. A popular silver for Endel of the Netherlands. Katie Heenan of USA takes the bronze. Svetlana Horkina now has 3 gold medals to her credit, 4 medals in all. She still has another chance on floor exercise. It is a city of history on the Lys Canal. We'll flow to the men's rings when we return to Belgium.
Discover the 2002 Pathfinder Chilkoot Edition. Loaded with everything you expect from a Pathfinder, but packed with the spirited extras that Chilkoot stands for. At a price that is truly civilized.
You know why I like this place? The heat lamps. Don't they make the chicken look good? Okay, who's in the mood for something made fresh? Subway makes every sandwich right before your eyes, so you know they're fresh made.
That's right, like Subway's spicy buffalo chicken sandwich. Tender strips of marinated chicken topped with Frank's red hot cayenne pepper sauce and a creamy ranch dressing. All on your choice of fresh baked gourmet bread. It's the taste of buffalo wings in a sandwich.
Who needs heat lamps when you got Subway, right guys?
Are your floors looking worn and old? Now there's a way to make any floor look brand new again instantly. Introducing the revolutionary ProShot floor restoring system. Watch this. The destruction from this electric sander is equal to years of the hardest wear and tear on your floors. But look, with just one application and in seconds, the amazing ProShot floor restorer brings it back like new. Amazing! It's so easy to use. Simply apply onto any floor. Dull spots are rejuvenated, scratches disappear, and you're left with a brilliant, slip-resistant shine that's long-lasting. Use ProShot on new floors and protect your investment for years. It's not a wax, so there's no yellowing and no buildup. Other products lose their shine after a week, but with just one application, ProShot restores and protects your floors for up to 6 months and more. Guaranteed.
Call 1-800-926-3062 to order the amazing ProShot Floor Restore for just $29.95 and receive another 16 ounces absolutely free. Don't miss this opportunity to save 50%. Call 1-800-926-3062.
More than half of you now invest in stocks. Exciting times. But the money you're keeping in cash, taking care of it may be not exciting, but it too should provide a good return. Open an ING Direct investment savings account. Because you bank over the phone or the internet, you'll always earn higher interest and pay no fees. Smart. Call 1-800-ING Direct. Save your money.
That's Jimbo, the great green mascot of the Ghent World Championships. Welcome back, Scott Russell, along with Laurie Strong-Ballard, as we move to the final on rings.
And once again, there are 5 required elements. Strength elements are very important. The iron cross has made a comeback. It's very popular to connect it to other strength skills to gain that 1.2 in bonus points. We'll also see the bigger dismounts to balance out the routines.
All about strength and control. Here is 26-year-old Ivana Vankov, and he just missed another world all-around title, losing to the Chinese Xing Feng by 1/100ths of a mark.
There's this required swing to a strength element. He pushes back up to a planche. Maltese cross. They must be held for at least 2 seconds. Showing nice control. You have to do a giant swing to a handstand, holding for 2 seconds. The dismount, it is a bigger one. Double layout. He adds a full twist to the second rotation. Good solid landing.
Popular guy here, led his team to the team championship.
It's always tough when Ivankov starts off the event finals. Should be a pretty big score. Nice job right to the end with that full twisting double layout, sees the landing and not a movement.
He was 5th on this event at the Olympic Games, 9.575. That's where we work from in the rings final. Here is the Olympic champion, a specialist, Sylvester Chorlani of Hungary.
He actually supports his family on the prize money he wins on this event at various competitions. Boy, things are really changing in gymnastics. There's Maltese, and he'll press right up to an inverted cross. Plenty of hold time. Notice the little extra flair he adds to each of these hold elements. Builds a nice overall impression to the judges.
He had been second for so many championships to Yuri Keki of Italy and finally broke through at the Olympic Games.
Double layout, he is pleased with that routine. Strong strength moves, a little bit simple on the dismount, choosing to do only the double layout. His holds and control on this event is phenomenal throughout the entire routine. But I think the simplicity on this dismount could hurt him.
9.712 puts Chorlani in first place, but he knows that Jordan Jovchev is to come, the Bulgarian who won gold on the floor exercise. And as you say, Lori, Jovchev right at the top of his game.
Oh, and he was stunning here in the all-around competition, scoring a 9.787. He can easily repeat that here. The one advantage he has is he's got a bigger dismount planned. Perfect form in that L cross. Presses up, and that's the best inverted cross I've seen all day. Adding that little extra flair. When these routines are all scored out of a 10, everyone has great difficulty. Sometimes it's that little extra finesse, the lift of the head at the end of the strength element that makes you the champion.
Crowd right with Jordan Jovchev. Was bronze on this event in Sydney.
There's the dismount. He adds a full twist to Chorlani's dismount, the double layout. More difficulty, incredible strength elements. Look at the stress on the body. He is working hard. He wants this gold badly.
9.775. Yes, he's in the lead.
I love my wife.
And maybe he'll take home that gold medal to his wife who's about to have their baby.
Now Andrea Capolino of Italy will try to catch Jovchev. No easy task. This man was 5th at the last World Championships in Tianjin, China. Those were held in 1999.
And you mentioned earlier, world and Olympic champion Yuri Keki from Italy. Italy has a strong tradition on the rings, and I spoke to Yuri earlier, and he said that they have a tremendous formula. Very strong school of basics on the rings. Perfect positions, iron cross straight from fingertip to fingertip. Doing a great job, but he's in tough company. Some big scores to beat here. Giant swing to a handstand, trying to show control. Very little movement of the rings. Here comes the dismount. It's a double layout and a solid landing.
22-year-old Capolino of Italy. Jordan Jovchev already has a 9.775.
Sometimes you take a gamble in the finals. Do you go for the big dismount and risk maybe taking a step, or the more simple dismount like this double layout and nail the landing?
Enough to put himself in medal position, but not enough to catch Jovchev. 9.65. Another country now gets involved. Dimostinos Tambakos of Greece, silver medalist at the Olympic Games in Sydney, and he is also the European champion from 2000 in Bremen, Germany.
Interesting mount. To his Maltese cross. He'll roll around. There's the iron cross, a little bit higher than some of his competitors. Pressing right up to an inverted iron cross. Back down to another Maltese cross. He is working hard. Look at his muscles shaking. A little shaky, but otherwise in good control. Here's the dismount. It's the double layout, a tiny hop, but he is fighting for every tenth that he can get.
Yes, struggled to hang on.
Here's the dismount, double layout, nice position in the air. Hips a little bit back on the landing, but a fight.
Out of the medals, 9-6 for Tambakos of Greece. The rings belong to Jordan Jovchev. Takes a surprising win over the Olympic champion Sylvester Ciorlani. The Italian Andrea Coppolino recalls the great Yuri Keki's example in winning the bronze. Proving that success can be measured in resilience, 28-year-old Jordan Jovchev wins a second gold medal at the World Championships in Belgium.
I feel great. I was ready for it, and I guess it's just my time now. So I feel really good. I had a really good, strength, and I swing very good, and I stuck with this mount. I don't know. I just did my job.
Crowd warming up for some explosive action now. The vaulters leave nothing on the runway with a gold medal on the line. And here is the 20-year-old Marian Dragulescu of Romania. Shared the gold medal on the floor X with Jovchev.
And definitely one of the most powerful vaulters here. He has some big difficulty. Double front half out, sky high. Watch, it's 3 rotations. This is the second and the third with a half twist. Big step on the landing. You see him step on that direction line. There won't be a deduction for stepping on the line, just the deduction for the step itself.
9.75 out of the maximum 10. So a big first vault for Dragulescu. Now in the final competition, the men do 2 vaults and average their score.
His first vault was scored out of a 10. His second one will be scored out of a 9.9. There's only about a handful of 10-0 start values on this event. We'll see about 3 or 4 of the competitors do 10-0s. It's a soup 2.5. Again, a big step on the landing, but this time he was square down the mat, and that will help. Half onto the horse. He does 2.5 twists with 1 salto. Big step right there, but his advantage is that he has a 10-0 and a 9.9 start value. Very high.
And the average score is a 9.668 for Marian Dragulescu. This is a 20-year-old, Charles Tamayo Leon of Cuba. We saw him at the Pan American Games in Winnipeg.
First vault has the same start value as Dragulescu, a different vault. Again, he stepped over the line. That'll be a 10th deduction right there on direction. He goes on forward. He does 1 rotation with 2.5 twists. It's a twisting vault. You see him step over the line there. So powerful, a little different than Dragulescu. Dragulescu jogged into his vault. He had a full-out sprint.
There's the first score. Again, out of a 10, one of those rare big start values. 9.712, the first score. Now the second vault.
And not only does he have the power, but he has impeccable form in the air. See his second vault. It's a soup 2.5. Big hop to the side though. 2 feet over the line means 2/10 deduction there. But wow, those are huge vaults.
That's his coach, Felix Aguilera.
So explosive. If he can get these landings under control, he can be a world and Olympic champion on this event.
9.624, the average puts him second behind Dragulescu. This is a gymnast that challenged for a while in the all-around competition from tiny Kazakhstan, Yernar Yerembetov.
Big surprise in the all-around. Here in the finals, a double front. Low squat on the landing. That's a 2 or 3/10 deduction there. He had a nice strong lift off the horse. You can see his legs separated. That increases the rotation speed, but it can be a deduction. Landed a little bit low.
Actually led after 3 rotations of the individual all around. 9.35, the first score on the vault. He didn't start gymnastics until he was an 18-year-old, and he's only 21 now.
That's simply amazing. Takes years to perfect these elements. Second vault has to be totally different. See him do a twist onto the horse. Soup with a 2.5 twist. This is scored out of a 9.9. He had a little bit of form deductions. Take a look at his knees, slightly bent, especially there at the end when he's trying to increase his rotation.
Has come a long way. Yernar Yarambetov, 9.45, the average, to be third at the moment. Evgeny Sapronenko of Latvia.
First vault is also scored out of a 10. Soup double pike, and what an amazing landing.
Jacques Rogue, the chairman of the IOC, in attendance here in Belgium.
And he's seeing some great gymnastics. Soup double pike, 2 rotations in the pike position, slightly bent knees at the end, but he just nails this into the landing.
Sapronenko won silver at the last World Championships in Tianjin, China. Big score to start this off, 9.8. Can he follow it up?
That's the highest score of the day because of the landing. He needs to nail this second vault because it is a lower start value than Dragulescu's second vault. The double front, oh, a little bit crooked on the landing. He nails it, maybe a tiny movement of the foot, but his one foot, take a look at it. It's his right foot is slightly over the line. That'll be a 10th deduction and about a 1/2 tenth to a 10th on the step.
And he doesn't like the score. You can hear the jeers, 9.487, which leaves him back of Dragulescu with a 9.643 average. Alexei Bondarenko of Russia.
Soup double pike, not enough rotation, big steps forward.
Bondarenko, 23 years old, seems to never reach his potential.
He has the talent, but he seems to not be able to put it together in competition consistently. You know, you see sparks every once in a while, but he never catches fire.
Yeah, he was 7th all around at the Olympic Games in Sydney, and they expected so much more. Second vault.
It's the double front, 3 rotations, stiff legs on the landing. Boy, that can be dangerous.
Saw the stress in his face trying to hang on to it there at the end.
Sometimes when you're a little bit higher than you expect, he opened up here, didn't have time to bend his knees and absorb that landing.
Well, he falters again, 9.375, and Bondarenko averages at 9.456. First up, and Marian Dragulescu posts 2 huge scores to win his 2nd gold medal. A disappointed Latvian Sapronenko is 2nd. Cuba's Leon Tamayo wins the bronze. He has been the pillar of Romanian men's gymnastics throughout these World Championships. 20-year-old Marian Dragulescu soars to gold on the vault. When we return to ancient Ghent, who will be the queen of the beam? Count on the Romanians having their say in Belgium.
Energizer, an official sponsor of Canada's national freestyle ski team, wants to send you and your friends to Salt Lake City. This is your chance to see the best in the world compete. You could win a trip for 4 to Salt Lake City, including airfare and accommodation. To enter, pick up a copy of the November issue of TV Guide and send in the ballot. Or visit the website, tvguidelive.com. The power of competition, the power of Energizer. Do you have the bunny inside?
How does lightning smell? Smell this.
New Speed Stick Lightning, a powerful new scent.
Nice.
For strong 24-hour protection against odor and sweat.
What is the scent of an avalanche? Smell this.
New Speed Stick Avalanche, a powerful new scent.
Cool.
For strong 24-hour protection against odor.